That's when another about 3-4 shots of gunfire occurred.
For many of you, you might as well admit it. You've become numb to the headlines as well. Shootings are coming so fast with such volume, it is overwhelming.
Unfortunately, I think we're a little desensitized to gun violence in the times that we're living in right now.
What is also overwhelming is the evidence that most of these shootings can be traced back to guns purchased legally and then stolen. A Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosive report released earlier this year showed from 2017 to 2021, more than 96% of all guns stolen came from private citizens' cars and homes. And the number stolen is staggering. More than 1 million of them. One gun stolen every 30 seconds.
Once law enforcement recovers a weapon that's been used in a crime, their next step is usually here in Martinsburg, West Virginia, at the ATF National Tracing Center.
Gun tracers contacting gun manufacturers and dealers all day, every day, finding who originally purchased guns used in crimes.
The gun that I have is a Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol.
Unfortunately, about 45% of the time, the dealers who sold the guns have gone out of business or are no longer selling guns.
So this is our out of business record center. This is where when a federal firearms licensee goes out of business, they send their records here for processing.
Thousands of boxes, about 7 million records per month arrive here. Millions of forms separated, unstapled, trimmed, and prepped. Each one is then scanned as a non-searchable document, 250,000 scans per day. But once ATF has the document in the computer, it is just an electronic filing cabinet. When a call comes in to trace a gun used in a crime, an ATF employee must flip through photos of the documents one by one, because Congress has prohibited ATF from keeping a database of guns.
So when I see on CSI a guy just typing it into his phone and saying, oh, this is where it came from.
Right, that's Hollywood.
Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Doesn't happen.
No.
How long does it take to trace the average firearm?
A routine trace right now is about 8 days to get a routine trace completed.
Congress will not allow any type of repository of searchable gun data.
That's correct. And so you're going to see an effort by many of us to push for, try to force a vote on many of these big issues, including this one.
Democratic Congressman Greg Landsman says a federal safe storage law is another focus for his side of the aisle to slow the flood of guns stolen from cars and homes. At CGIC, the Crime Gun Intelligence Center in Cincinnati, investigators connect guns to crimes. But after the case is adjudicated, they are finding a dangerous cycle.
Perhaps that gun was stolen from somebody, and somebody asked for that gun to be returned to them, and we have the legal duty to return a gun to somebody and put it back into the community, for want of a better word. We are now seeing guns that we have taken off of the street multiple times.
But a federal safe storage law is facing an uphill battle.
Why not a federal law that requires people to store their firearms properly? Then they won't get stolen and into the hands of teens.
Well, one, because people already are required not to store their firearms improperly, right? It's against the law to store a firearm improperly, as it should be.
With due respect, there is really not a safe storage law. You don't have to have your firearm locked up. You can have it sitting in your glove box in your car.
It is certainly against the law to improperly store a firearm. I'm certain of that. I'm a gun owner myself, and I can say with complete confidence that you're not allowed to illegally store a firearm.
Having storage areas is something that a lot of gun owners do, and they do it voluntarily.
Are you in favor of that type of safe storage?
I'm in favor of it. I'm not in favor of making it a law or punishing people for not doing it.
The Buckeye Firearms Association knows there are no federal safe storage laws, and about half of the states lack handgun storage laws as well, including Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. It's how they like it.
You can pass all the laws you want, but if you're going to change behavior, education is the way to do it, not passing more laws.
The lack of state or federal action prompted Cincinnati earlier this year to pass an ordinance requiring gun locks.
I just did a roundtable discussion with some students in CPS, and I asked them, how easy is it to get a gun? And they said, I can text someone in my phone right now and have a gun in 30 minutes.
Cincinnati has a long way to go. CPD statistics show in 2019, 14% of violent crime was committed by teens. So far this year, that number is 22%. In 2019, 22% of homicides were committed by people under 25. So far this year, more than double that. Cincinnati is now considering implementing a $1 million program called Advance Peace that reduced gun violence in Richmond, California by more than 80%.
98% of the folks that we enroll into the fellowship on day one are active firearm offenders committed to using a firearm as a conflict resolution tool.
Advance Peace recruits gun-carrying teens, pays them, and educates them how to lay down their weapons.
Because everybody need to have a safe community to live in and not have to worry about something simple as gun violence.
Community activist Mitch Morris says the answer is getting kids involved in activities before they turn to the dark side.
I need to keep our kids playing saxophones and pianos and the things that's going to be good in life, they better get some of our life in.
Replacing the sounds of gunfire and sirens. This is David Winter reporting.